Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, I am the Hermit Tarot and this is my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a pick a group tarot reading. It's based off a topic that I used to do a lot. I used to do this very frequently. Back in Patreon days, we would have our fortnightly guidance readings as well, but I used to always ask Spirit, what do they need to hear? What do you need to know? So this is going to be a guidance reading, very channeled and timeless. It's aimed at offering you the information, clarity, and support / guidance you need at the time that you are seeing this video. So it's highly likely that this video may find you again later, in which maybe the messages have changed. So we are going to have an extended reading as well. The extended reading is aimed at offering a bit more structure to the messages that you may receive in the first part of your reading. I'm filming your intro after I've done all your groups, which is really helpful because I can I know more about what you can expect in your extended. So the first part of your reading, we're looking at what do you need to hear? What do you need to know right now at the time that you're seeing this video? And we're going to be pulling out as much information as possible. It can get a bit intense, so I highly recommend that you get a notepad and something to write with so that you can take notes of what resonates for you and so that you can focus on that instead of what doesn't resonate. And then in your extended reading, we're going to have a look at what you can expect in the next 2 weeks. It's going to be very informative, both readings on YouTube and in the extended. In the extended reading, we're looking at your next 2 weeks by looking at the main 3 themes you will experience in the next 3 weeks, what you can expect to happen within that theme, those 3 themes. And then we're going to have a look at what advice you need for those 3 themes in the next 2 weeks as well. I'll talk about that again in each of your groups, which brings me to the next part of today's video. Let's introduce the 3 groups, shall we? I'll zoom in a little bit. As you can see, we have 3 crystal towers to choose from, starting with the green tower over here. If you know what this crystal is, please tell me, because I did try to Google it and I could not find the right one. It is clearly some kind of quartz, and I believe that this crystal is probably like man-made, or they've done something to make it look the way that it does, but it is a beautiful crystal tower and I do love it. It usually doesn't get used in my readings. I just keep it in my tarot room and I let that energy help the other decks around it. It feels very grounding and healing. And it definitely needs to be recharged now that I'm feeling it. So that's group 1. If you feel drawn to this crystal tower, you are a part of group 1's reading. The next crystal we have is this amethyst crystal tower, the purple crystal tower. And if you feel drawn to this crystal tower for the color or for the crystal itself, you will be a part of group 2's reading. And last but not least, we have group 3's crystal tower, the clear quartz crystal. Technically, I believe all of these are quartz, but I could be wrong about this little guy. It might even be a jasper crystal, but I don't think so if we have a look at it. It doesn't really look like it. But anyway, the clear crystal tower is group 3's crystal tower. So if you feel drawn to this one, you will be a part of group 3's reading. So those are the 3 groups. You may wish to pause the video now if you need more time selecting a group, or you can join me in the 1-minute meditation, which will be playing after this clip. It was designed by me to literally help you tune into your intuition and intuitively pick a group that you feel most drawn to. It only goes for a minute. So if you want to be a part of that, just keep watching and it'll roll on after this clip. When you know which of these 3 groups you're feeling most drawn to, your timestamp will be in the description box. Click on your group's timestamp and join me in your reading. So the first thing I want you to do with me is to take in 2 deep, mindful breaths. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4.
Now I want you to focus on clearing your mind. It's natural to have thoughts racing at this point. I want you to embrace each thought as it comes and let it slip as quickly as it came in. Focus on clearing and balancing out these thoughts so that they come and go without a desire to be attached to them. And now, with a rested mind, I want you to think of the first group that comes to your mind. It may be a number, it may be an object that I showed you. It could be a specific color, it could be a feeling that you felt when I showed you each of the groups today. When you are ready and when you feel confident, select your group and join me in your reading.
Hi Group 1 and welcome to your reading. If you chose the green crystal tower, then this is going to be your reading today. We're asking Spirit for general advice and information. What do you need to hear at the time that you are finding this video? So it is a timeless message. Welcome back if you're looking at this again in the future. Let's get into it though, Group 1. I have pre-shuffled your cards. I will be clarifying with charms and tarot just to get very specific, but let's start laying these out and have a look at what you need to hear. So first we have some tarot cards from the Telesma tarot deck, which I acquired through Tarot Stack. So I am an affiliate with Tarot Stack in the sense of I try my best to support them and they support me as well. So if you do choose to order this deck through Tarot Stack, I will be very transparent and say that 10% of the purchase does go back into the Hermit Tarot channel. They pay me out once a month to support them. So yeah, it's kind of like this roundabout thing. I recommend you look into Tarot Stack though and just get an idea of what they do. This wasn't supposed to be a Tarot Stack spiel, but they're very supportive of independent artists. That's why I support them, and they help get decks out there so that people can kind of get all their favorite eclectic independent decks in one place, if that makes sense. So I recommend you check them out. The link to this deck is in the description box, and if you're interested, definitely go ahead and purchase it. Your first card is the Chariot from the Telesma Tarot. So this is a tarot deck. We also have the Magician coming out. So you got two major arcana, and we have the Four of Coins as well. Next, we have some oracle cards. So firstly, from the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck by John Holland, we have the Empress coming out for you, fertility. We also have Truth, which is the Judgment card, number 20. We have Triumph, the Chariot card again. So you got three major arcana in this deck, and then we got the Throat Chakra card as well. Okay, next we have the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards. We have Mountains coming out first, Stand Your Ground. We also have White Witch, Be the Light coming out for you. Technically reversed, but I'm not going to take reversals in that deck. Is that kind of fitting? Not really. Not really. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. We also have the Magician and the Mirror coming out in the Energy Oracle deck. And we have Appreciation coming out. Now, I will take the Magician and the Mirror reversed only because that deck is a little bit special for me. I take reversals in that deck. Last Oracle deck we have for you is the Polarity, the Law of Polarity Oracle deck by Robbie Roman. So all these decks are linked in the description box, y'all, if you're interested. The first card we have is Acceptance. We also have My Heart is Full of Hope. And we have I Finally Have Clarity. Let me get some charms out now. Spirit, what does Group 1 need to hear at the time that they are seeing this Wow. Yeah. Yeah, wow. Anything else? Okay, that's it. So let me pull some of the cards that went out of the charms that went out of frame into frame. So I'll show you the charms as I talk about them. Is this one in frame? Yeah, okay, good. I've got a few themes coming out for you already. This is going to be one of my less sort of organized readings, which is why I tried to make sure the cards were organized, because when I channel these kinds of messages, it's not usually following a structure. I'm just going to be rattling off information that should be relevant to your situation currently. The main thing that I am seeing is movement and the need to move forward with determination. It really feels like a lot of your delays or uncertainties regarding how best to move forward right now, whether that is in a specific situation or in general, have to do with you feeling confident in the decisions that you're making. And a lot of you are struggling to feel confident in the decisions that you're making because you feel like you don't have the information that you need. And so without being well informed, you feel less than confident and you do not have the determination to move forward. So the first issue I'm seeing is the lack of information causing delay. Your advice around that issue is to ask more questions and really speak up. We have the feather charm following on the finally have clarity card. So right underneath the throat chakra reversed, any blockages in experiencing recurring thoughts without solutions, experiencing recurring problems without solutions, these blockages are highlighting your need to ask more questions and communicate more, whether that's by you engaging in conversation more or you initiating conversation more to get the answers that you need to move forward. I feel like some of you need to be more open to communicate, especially when it comes to a love situation for some of you, but I'm also seeing issues of communication within the workplace. And I feel like there needs to be more questions asked from your end just to get more information in general. The other reason why I think we have issues moving forward has to do with fears. And I believe the main fear that is arising for some of you has to do with your appreciation of self and how you see yourself. There is this strong message of encouragement to appreciate who you are and to see yourself through other people's eyes with the sunglass charm falling on the appreciation card. There's this strong feeling of looking at your situation through other people's eyes in the sense of realizing how much you have to offer, because it does feel like you do have such a fresh perspective to offer to whatever it is that you desire. And I do see mixed feelings about a certain situation that involves success and growth, whether you are here mostly asking for information on your love life or your career or your family or in general. I see that this group is very much about their main message is about needing to be open to growth and movement. And unfortunately, I only say unfortunately because I don't know if you're expecting a miracle, but a lot of the answers I'm seeing involve you taking action, you stepping up into your power and you having the confidence to move forward, especially with the Magician card being here. We have the oyster charm falling on that Magician card, which is encouraging you to stay open and see the world as your oyster. And this Magician card does have that eye imagery up the top. So I do believe that in order to move forward right now, we do need to see our life and our days and our moments and our opportunities as little opportunities to expand and as an overall open shell of possibilities. I really feel like the goal right now for you is to build your confidence and to gain more confidence in moving forward. And I see that happening through conversations, But I also see that happening through self-realization, getting your head in the right place and kind of seeing your situation for what it is in a positive way. And this isn't about being ignorantly optimistic or ignorantly sort of blind to the truth. It's actually the exact opposite, because we got the truth card for you. Spirit is saying you need to start paying attention to the truth more. I feel like some of y'all have the tendency to assume the worst, or you stay stuck in situations that don't progress for fear of losing what you already have or sabotaging what you already have, and by getting greedy by wanting more. It's not a case of greed. In your case, it feels like natural progression, and we have the natural progression card blocked with fertility reversed. So there is this feeling of being open to naturally progress in your life. I'm also seeing hints of jealousy here. And this jealousy card is over the chariot, or the jealousy charm, excuse me, is over the chariot and the truth card. So some of you, the truth of the situation is you're unable to progress forward in some respects because you compare yourself to other people, or because you draw too much inspiration from others in terms of, well, what am I doing wrong or right? When it comes to looking to others for inspiration, that's all it should be. Comparison is not going to successfully create the outcome that you need, because your outcome and your journey to the outcome will be very, very different, especially when we live in a society where so much is portrayed through the lens of how we want others to see us. It isn't the authenticity of the situation. We're not seeing everything. So be aware of how you may be unhelpfully comparing yourself to others when it comes to your road to success. We also have the can charm falling out on the chariot card. And this can opener charm is all about releasing something. And for it to be over the chariot, I feel like this is about releasing feelings and being more honest about how you were feeling. This is indicative of your loved ones, your family members, and being open about how you are experiencing delays in terms of maybe a lack of confidence. So I do think that some of this has to do with you grounding yourself in the love and support of your close family. And I don't just mean your blood family, I'm talking about your chosen family as well. Some of your fears could easily be overcome through the grounding support of those who love and know you best. We are seeing a sign to take moments of peace. So I do believe that some of you do need to prioritize more rest or more grounding in general to bring more of like a balanced equilibrium back into your overall lifestyle. Grounding and meditation doesn't have to be as intensive as allocating an hour to meditation a day. You could literally take a mindful shower in the morning to start your day. You could have a mindful cup of tea and coffee where you choose to not speak and simply let your thoughts come and go as they please to recalibrate and get ready for your day. You could choose to take a mindful meal at lunchtime where you kind of isolate yourself, have your 15 minutes of peace, don't scroll on social media, don't check your missed calls, just sit and let your thoughts come and go to help recalibrate and ground. I would strongly encourage you though, with all of this sort of blocked earth and water energy, I strongly encourage you to find moments in nature to ground as well, to help discharge negative energy. Nature is a natural sort of discharge source for us in terms of physics. So if you have any negative energy around you physically, putting your feet on the ground, or having a bath or a shower, or getting out in nature if you can, is a physical way of discharging all of that negative energy, and it can be psychologically very grounding as well. Now there is a message over here with the Four of Coins of overindulging in substances. It's interesting because for you, I'm not seeing it in any other card. So I'm not seeing that it's a bad thing. But when that charm comes out, it does reference substances. So I feel like substances for you could be helpful in opening your eyes. But I also want you to just, I'm not saying go out there and do everything, especially if you're not doing anything. But I am saying that it's being highlighted in between your perception of yourself and how you are struggling to let yourself be open to gaining more. So I feel like some of you may be seeking liquid courage or some sort of inebriation. in order to help get you to that point where you are confident and you can open yourself up. It's an interesting side tangent, and I don't feel comfortable exploring it without more tarot. So let's clarify. Spirit, why is the inebriation charm here? Why is the inebriation charm here? We have the Father of Pentacles in the reverse position. Yeah, that makes sense. And the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, okay. Wheel of Fortune reversed. And I just noticed the other charm we have, which is my closure charm, open. So this is a very specific scenario, and it may not apply to all of you, but I'm actually being shown a scenario in which you are sitting down and you're having a drink or you're having a smoke with someone who you need to gain closure with. This looks like a family member or someone that you really look up to and respect. They could be slightly older than you. This person and you do need to have a conversation, mostly because this is what is going to help you gain answers for some of you. It's going to help you ask questions that have been on your mind. It's also going to help you hear their side of the story. But the goal here seems to be closure. There seems to be a need for you to be able to get more information to help move forward. I'm seeing that the only way for some of you to have that conversation is to involve drinking or smoking in that way. And the goal here with the Father of Pentacles reversed, the Wheel of Fortune reversed, is to use that as a catalyst, not a form of dependency. So it is what we do. It's within our human nature to use alcohol to kind of loosen up a little bit, to use smoking to loosen up a little bit and to get more relaxed for some of you, to ease your nerves, your anxiety, or your restlessness. But there is a strong feeling of using it as a catalyst, not for dependency in that situation in which you need closure. So that's a very specific message. The other reason why the Four of Coins is here is because y'all do need to start saving more towards a long-term goal that you've been putting off. This is a big, big goal. It's not just like, oh, I need to, well, maybe it is. It could be I need to pay my car bill at the end of the month if that bill is significant. But it does feel like there is procrastination here around some sort of financial endeavor. And this is something that is going to happen a lot sooner than you're expecting, especially with the Wheel of Fortune reversed. You do have a deadline there with the Father of Pentacles reversed, and you do need to address it ASAP. Is there any other messages around that Four of Coins? The Mother of Wands, yeah, stop procrastinating. Mother of Wands reverse is like, stop procrastinating. So with those messages aside, the only other thing I wanted to talk about more was this energy over here, and then we'll come back to these cards. Over here, we have the Mountains card, stand your ground. And on top of that, we have the kind of, it's what I call the selfish charm, because it's like the selfish little piggy. I don't know, this makes me think of Miss Piggy from the Muppets and how she was very self-entitled. But on the other side, we have the Amber Heart, which is all about your sacral chakra and your heart chakra coming together. And I see with that kind of being around the Magician and the Mirror and the Mountains, that message of you needing to be more assertive is coming up again, but in a different context. We need you to be more assertive for the sake of accomplishing something in which you need to be confident in who you are, because you are going to be challenged. People may say, Group 1, why are you doing that? Group 1, that's never going to work. Group 1, why don't you just take some time off and do this instead? There is a feeling here of maintaining consistency, boundaries, and asserting your ground, standing your ground, being selfish in a positive way by staying focused, staying inspired, and staying self-aware as well, because sometimes we're the saboteur. It's not so much external influences, it's our own mind playing tricks on us and convincing us that this isn't going to work out. So I see the need to remain consistent over here and to keep seeking sources of inspiration, because this form of inspiration is more about having like a muse, a reason as to why you work so hard, as to why this is so important for you, as to why you need to see this through. And it may be selfish in some way, but with the Magician and the Mirror reversed, we also have another little oyster shell on this card. It kind of feels like this energy is very much about you versus you, because the Magician and the Mirror for me is a very self-aware, what's the word, fulfilling card of like being a very powerful being and recognizing that strength and using that skill and that strength. When it's reversed, it's a feeling of insecurity, or either we don't recognize it or we're failing to be consistent in how we see ourselves. So I do see you needing to be more assertive and more sure with yourself of what you want and why you want it. And there's also this feeling of recognizing that you are deserving as well. And I think that's why we have acceptance. My heart is full of hope down here. There's a strong feeling of accepting the truth of your circumstances in a transformative way, in a sense of renewal, from a place of like, I can do this and it is going to get better. And I feel like a lot of this has to do with intuitive signs and synchronicities that you receive in those moments of stagnation and stillness. There is also another strong sense of commitment to the overall goal here. So for some of you, you're going through a period of renewal in which you may have started strong towards some sort of goal, and then there was setbacks or stagnancy. And in that period of challenges and adversity, whether you were literally experiencing setbacks or just stagnant energy, you started to lose hope. And I do see that something that you have your eyes set on is trying to manifest through this transformative period, through this renewal period. You've been receiving synchronicities about this, but maybe part of you losing hope has to do with comparing your journey to other people. Well, so-and-so managed to get their house like after applying for, one loan. They put in one offer and they got it. It's not going to be that way for everybody. You should not be comparing your journey to other people. And I do see that being a recurring theme for this group, almost as though you need to be reminded that in this situation, your success can be had, but it is not going to happen the way that Susie and Jack got theirs. So the last thing I really want to say is with this White Witch card over here, be the light. You do need to be a light of inspiration and hope for yourself. There is this strong feeling of just taking care of you first. And that's why we also have the Empress reverse. Some of you do have responsibilities such as children, or you have people who look up to you, or you have people in which you need to care for or provide for. And we cannot do that until we take care of ourselves. So that's why I believe you need more grounding, more stillness, more mindfulness in your daily routine. But you also need to get your head straight when it comes to reminding yourself of what you have to offer, seeing yourself through other people's eyes in terms of, yes, I can actually bring you a lot. I have a lot of potential. I have a lot to offer. And realizing and appreciating yourself more for what you have. Remember that with this Magician and Chariot energy, you do need to take more of an assertive role when it comes to your personal goals and when it comes to you progressing where you have fallen stagnant. This looks like you asking more questions to gain the clarity that you need. It also looks like you speaking up more for yourself. And that could be how you set boundaries as well, communicating your needs more and communicating the fact that you do need space more if that's the issue. I see some of you needing to remember that no is a full sentence as well. Just because we're being encouraged to communicate does not mean we have to over-explain ourselves. Being assertive and standing your ground can be as simple as remembering that no is a full sentence. I do see the need to be more selfish in the sense of standing your ground and remaining connected to the reason why you work so hard for the things that you want, or why you are putting in the effort towards the goals that you desire. It's also looking like you standing your ground and being assertive against that negative inner voice that talks yourself out of wanting these things or wanting to put in the effort towards these things. I'm also seeing that reminder of your coin. Don't get distracted, don't procrastinate. That financial goal or that financial issue that we're trying to work towards is creeping up on us. So we need to stay consistent with what we're saving or with our financial plans. We also need to be aware of how substances, alcohol, anything that we use to inebriate ourselves can be tools, but they should not be dependencies. They seem to be a catalyst in a situation in which you need to gain closure from someone who you do have issues with, that has been holding you back from progressing. And the goal there is to not blame them or figure out, what's wrong with them. The goal there is to figure out how what happened between us is limiting you. What happened between the two of you is limiting you and stopping you from seizing more opportunities with that Four of Coins, and maybe impacting your self-confidence, because the more we fixate on them, the less we progress individually. So that is what I'm seeing for you, group 1, when it comes to what do you need to hear right now. I am going to take this into the extended reading now, where we will have a look at your next 2 weeks from the time that you are seeing this reading. What is going to happen in the next 2 weeks for you? What information do you need to know? It's going to kind of be a prediction reading, but with the way that the first reading went, like in the sense of me giving you all this information, we're going to basically have a look at the best case scenario in the next 2 weeks. So I do believe that your 2-week prediction is going to be fairly transformative. Especially after seeing this, anything could really happen depending on how you use this information to get further ahead. But let's see, I'm curious, what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks for you? What do you need to be aware of, and what is popping up? If a person's energy pops up, we are going to clarify what they are doing in your life and what they have to offer, or why they're popping in if they feel new. And we're going to get more advice as well. So that'll be the extended reading. If you would like to join me, the extended reading is on my website. Link is in the description box. I encourage you to have a look at the Amethyst Hermie membership on my website. If you're someone that loves extended readings, you can have unlimited access to all the extended readings on my website by signing up and becoming a member for $10 a month. It is worth looking into. Otherwise, listen, thank you so much for all of your time, energy, and support right here on YouTube. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the support you offer me, this channel, this community, and free tarot on YouTube in general. Sending you so much love and light, and I hope this reading was helpful. Remember to take what resonates. Do not let the rest take from you, and I hope to connect with you in another video. Bye. Hi group 2 and welcome. If you chose the Amethyst Crystal Tower over here, then this is going to be your reading. I'm going to put your tower over there. Just move this forward a little bit. So I have pre-shuffled some cards for us. So I'll introduce your cards to you very soon. Let me just remind you of what we're doing today. We're going to be asking Spirit, what do you need to hear right now? So this is intended to be a timeless reading. We're going to hopefully get messages that are relevant to your current situation based on whenever you have clicked on this reading. Excuse me. There will also be an extended to today's reading in which we will be looking at the next 2 weeks for you. It's going to kind of be a prediction reading as well as a really strong advice and guidance reading on how to navigate the next 2 weeks. So let's get into the first part of your reading. What do you need to hear right now? Starting with the Talisman Tarot. Your first card is the Knight of Coins. That's interesting. You got a lot of earth energy. Your bottom deck energy was the King of Coins as well. Your second tarot card is the Nine of Cups. And if you do like this tarot deck, I acquired mine through Tarot Stack. I support Tarot Stack on this channel, and they support me in the sense of I'm an affiliate with them. Tarot Stack helps promote decks from independent artists and creators, so people who aren't affiliated with a big production or publishing company. They support people who like Vanessa Samina and other decks like Dreamy Moons Tarot, who I'm sure you'll know, but Talisman Tarot deck is one of those independent artists as well. So if you like this deck, click on the link in the description box and support Tarot Stack for supporting independent people. It's a really great cause, and it's an interesting way to get all those independent people together instead of having to browse through Etsy. It kind of takes all of that and puts it in one place, so it's one place of shipping. That's another major benefit that takes the hassle out of it. But I recommend you look into them yourself and see what they're about, and if they feel like something that you want to support, go ahead and do that. Your last tarot card is the Devil card reversed. Interesting. Okay, so next we have some oracle cards from the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. We have Material Harvest reversed. That's the Nine of Pentacles. We also have the Emperor reversed, Authority. We have the Ace of Coins upright. So you guys have strong earth energy, strong Capricorn energy. And we have the Moon card, which is the Shadow card. So prosperity begins and shadow. Interesting. Okay. From the Energy Oracle deck, we have Financial Constraints reversed. We also have a woman holding a coin reversed. Okay, that's interesting. A lot of your messages are about financial success and gain, but we'll get into it. There's other messages here as well. We have from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck, Embrace the Energy of Peace, Broken Arrow reversed. And we have Medicine Mother, Honor Your Inner Knowing. Wow, this card hardly ever comes out. That is reversed as well. We have from the, what's this one called? The Law of Polarity Oracle deck by Ruby Roman, I'm Ready to Listen. We also have Found. And we have The Fire Went Out. Interesting. Let me shuffle out some charms really quickly. I will be clarifying with charms and another tarot deck if we have any reason to get more confirmation. What does group 2 need to know, Spirit, right now? What do they need to know? What do they need to hear? Interesting. Does group 2 need to know / here? Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm going to stop it there because you got a lot of charms that fell to the wayside over here. Let me bring those in. That's interesting. That is really interesting. One fell over here. Blowing off steam with the Devil card. Okay, it's a dangerous game to play. We've all been there. Well, especially a Capricorn or an Aquarius, Scorpio. Not so much, actually. You'll be surprised. Scorpios can be very interesting. So, this is so interesting. I have a few things I'm going to rattle off. So if you're used to my readings, in the sense of you joined me in the last year or maybe a year and a half, I don't do these ones as often, but when I do, it's a lot less organized than my usual reading. So visually, this probably looks aesthetically pleasing, but I'm literally going to be rattling off information as I channel it. So I recommend you get something to write with, to write down what resonates, and to focus on what resonates, because a lot of information comes through, and 9 times out of 10, it comes through so fast, you could miss something small yet significant. So let's start with the closure charm up here. So what I'm seeing is there is a need for you to focus on gaining closure on something. This closure charm is wide open, and at this stage, that's how I think it's going to be for this collective. I think that we need to focus, especially you, group 2, on getting closure on things that you have already invested in. This has to do with your material gain, your material success, sticking to plans, sticking to goals, and not procrastinating or not losing focus. This does have to do with you bettering yourself and gaining success in the long term. But closure in the immediate term looks like you also prioritizing moments for happiness and looking after your mental health, specifically with the 9 of Cups. That 9 of Cups is also looking like you reminding yourself of why you have certain boundaries up with certain people in your life. And I feel like these boundaries may have been tested recently, or there is a strong feeling of people pushing boundaries with you and you having a people-pleasing tendency to sway certain boundaries for certain people. I feel like with the 9 of Cups being upright, protect your happiness, protect your mental health right now. Only open yourself up to get closure for your sake. Don't open yourself up to appease to anybody else's journey at this point in your journey. I'm also seeing with the Knight of Coins a strong commitment to furthering your individual success and growing further materially. This does look like you coming up with a plan for long-term growth or following a plan you've already come up with, revisiting goals and revisiting resolutions that you may have this year. I do think if you're part of my Amethyst Hermie community, you do need to think of what you want to do before the end of the year. And I'm only bringing that up because we have a giveaway there at the moment, and that could resonate. To enter the giveaway, you literally had to put in your end of year resolutions. So getting very clear on what those are for you and figuring out how you want to move forward and practically progress. Don't just say I want to be an astronaut and not have a practical plan on how to get there. The reason why you need to do that is because it is achievable for you, Group 2. This isn't just about getting organized and being an adult. For you, Group 2, your material harvest is possible. It just needs more clear planning. It needs more awareness, and you need to look into any limitations or constraints you think you have, because they aren't real. You do have ways of getting through that, especially with the commitment charm coming out. This commitment charm is saying we will reward you for your hard work, for any hard work and any effort that you put in, it will be rewarded. I'm also seeing you looking into financial constraints, looking into a budget that may have been blown and why was it blown, looking into why that plan didn't work out the first time. Was it too strict to the point where it was very tempting to rebel, or was it not strict enough to the point where you could actually be saving more if you wanted to? Or do you need to put in more effort in order to get that degree? Do you need to put more research into the analytics of how to make this more successful? There is a very practical reason as to why may not be as successful as it could be. And I see you gaining more success financially, materially, based on the effort that you put into those endeavors. I'm also seeing with the button charm here, there is a strong feeling of you kind of relieving pressure. Like I'm literally seeing someone like take the button out the top of their trousers after they've eaten. So I do feel like in this case, it is very much you reap what you sow, and it's not the time to kind of get too big for your boots and go kind of celebration mode too early. While I do believe that celebrating every ounce of success along your journey is pivotal in raising your vibration and affirming your progress, your message is very much a message of you're not there yet. You have barely peaked, Group 2. You have so much more success ahead of you. So don't bust that button too early, basically. Down here, we have the broken arrow, embrace the energy of peace, next to the travel charm. So for some of you, there is a feeling here of sticking to a routine. And I do see day trips, but I think that anything that would take too much money to do should be delayed right now. Now's not the time to break the bank account for a big Europe trip. It is very much about living within your means right now and sticking to some sort of budget or routine to ensure that long-term growth. Now, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. You don't have to listen to this, but that is what I'm seeing in terms of getting the success that you actually deserve. Try not to celebrate too soon by spending money on these expensive things too soon. And that doesn't mean you can't have fun. It's just about living within your means here and making sure that you're not dipping too deep into the savings to the point where it's very hard for you to climb back out. Now, we have the Emperor reversed with I'm ready to listen. These energies down here, it does feel like someone from your past may be trying to communicate with you. And I feel like with I'm ready to listen, it's not about engaging. It's not about reaching out. It's not about having the responsibility to fix things. It's just about kind of being receptive and trying to figure out how this, if it is helpful to you, gaining clarity for you. But I see somebody else trying to connect with you to get clarity from you. They want information and they want you to listen. So Spirit, what else can you tell us about this energy? What is going on here? We have the Fool reverse. This is someone who you may have some baggage with, or you may have had a kind of like things never really got off the ground moment. The Three of Pentacles, they could be a family member who you had a lot of faith in and they kind of let you down right when you needed them to help you get started with something. Otherwise, I feel like that Three of Pentacles is just indicative of someone who you shared a community with before, someone who you maybe used to work together with, someone who's now excluded from your inner circle. They don't see you as much as they used to, and they feel like they have to work hard to get back in. What else can you tell them about this energy? We have the Moon reverse. So they want to talk to you about how they're feeling. They maybe want to talk about their fears, but they definitely want to reveal something to you. The Two of Cups, this person wants to be more present in your life. They want a friendship at the very least. They want to they want you to hear them out. And I feel like the reason why this is coming out, because you need to hear that it's not your responsibility to do this. I'm seeing a lot of signs in you putting their words to the test, in the sense of let them make the effort, but at the very least listen to what they have to say with compassion, because there's a lot of clarity being gained from the situation. There's a lot of information being gained. However, it isn't your responsibility to make this happen. You just need to be aware, especially if this was a confusing situation in which you were like, well, do I make the first move? What do I do? You don't have to do anything except be receptive, compassionate, and listen. I do see a heart-to-heart conversation of trying to get on the same page. What else does this person want? The Father of Pentacles upright. So this person does have serious intentions. They could have materially motivated interests, or they could just have been wanting to wait until they were more financially secure or materially stable. They seem to be coming across as someone that has some sort of plan and some sort of long-term vision. So I would say let them put their money where their mouth is. Let their actions speak louder than their words and their energy, especially if you're intuitive or empathetic and you've picked up on them wanting to connect with you. Let them do it. It's not your responsibility is the main message here. We do have a new material opportunity manifesting for you right now, group 2, with the Ace of Pentacles and with Found being here. I do feel like this has to do with something that you are to the very least passionate about because of our amber heart coming out. This very strong sacral energy. But at the very most, this is something that I feel you have a more than a material investment in. Like there's like a passion, there's a heartfelt investment. It feels a lot more than just I've got a new job. It feels like it's going to solve other issues too. It is in some way changing your tangible reality though, and it has to do with you feeling peace, because we have that found feeling. And what you need to hear right now is that there are practical solutions to the problems that you're facing. Don't give up and stay open to those solutions. I do see this opportunity coming your way, and I feel like it may feel a little bit disruptive because that Emperor energy is reversed. It may feel like it was out of our control, or we just had to kind of leave it, take it to a certain point and then surrender the outcome. But I do see it grounding, and I see you growing it. I do see a new financial opportunity for a lot of you to expand your material world, in the sense of this could look like a project growing into more of a financial gain. This could look like you getting a new role within your current workplace, but it does feel like a new opportunity here to gain more on a material level. Is there anything else they need to know about that Ace of Pentacles prosperity begins? Yeah, so take it slowly with this. We don't need to rush. This feels like you warming up to something that you haven't done before, or trying to reanimate after a long period of not doing this. So some of you are starting work again after taking time off, or trying something that you don't have a lot of experience with. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to do your research. And don't be afraid to be honest about what it is that you need in this situation. The Seven of Swords reversed is talking about transparent, clear communication, laying down that foundation of expectation as well. If you are the one that needs to set the bar, make sure your communication is clear and that you are clearly needing that, or communicating that you need that from whoever it is that you're dealing with that Ace of Pentacles reverse. Check all your emails. You may have an opportunity waiting for you in your inbox and you just haven't checked your emails yet. But that Seven of Swords is about clear communication and just making sure that we haven't missed anything as well. Now we have the Moon, the shadow card, and I want to talk about this because it actually, what came out was a bit of moonstone on the Moon card. So strong intuitive feelings over here, and that's the confusion, that distortion feeling that I was picking up on as well. I do believe that right now you need to know that even if something appears murky, hazy, or unclear in terms of what you see and what you hear, your intuition is painting a bigger picture. Your intuition is steering you through those confusing, hazy, or just uncertain moments. And your intuition is encouraging you to pay more attention. Not in the sense of, hey, based off this intuitive feeling, take this bold, brave step. You don't have to act upon your intuitive feelings, but you should be using them as confirmation that it is working behind the scenes, and that things will manifest more materially when they are meant to. It's almost like you need to take your intuitive hits as confirmation. It's not really what you need in order to take bold action. It's just confirming what you already know, if that makes sense. I hope I haven't over-explained that. Now, I'm getting another past charm over here. Someone from your past, the fire went out. So where I was seeing communication over here, I'm seeing a very clear feeling of some situation in which your passion is waning or their passion is waning. And I think that you need to know that things end for a reason. Even if we don't know that reason, I'm hearing season or a reason. So I feel like that fire went out is talking about your heart space, sweets, and being aware of how your passion is bridling in different directions. I also see you needing to pay more attention to how you feel and to what your intuitive and heart-based feelings are telling you, because there is a feeling of your emotions shifting and taking you in a different direction, only because they're preparing you for some sort of change that is going to happen anyway. So they're almost prepping you to get mentally ready for how your reality is about to change. So Spirit, what is this? Because I don't want to freak people out. What is going on over here with the fire went out and Medicine Mother reversed? The Daughter of Swords. So it could be a crush that you're kind of going, it's just not really there anymore. But I feel like you need to appreciate that those moments are intentional, even if they're very minor. It's very much about clearing space in your life. And so if you have found yourself losing interest in certain people or certain places or certain things, or certain hobbies even, it is intentional. I feel like you are clearing out energy to make room for something that may have more responsibility with this Ace of Pentacles. Going from just, oh, they were fun, I guess. Like they were just keeping my mind active at night. I had someone to talk to while I fell asleep, or I had something to do in my downtime, I feel like you're taking on more. So you are going to be losing interest in certain things, and this is intentional. Let it become a part of your past. This doesn't feel super, super, super significant, y'all. Like I'm literally seeing like just things that never really were going to go anywhere anyway, slowly fizzle out in order to clear room for something bigger and more intentional in terms of it has more energy. It has more of a presence. It literally feels like going from talking to like 5 people casually and none of you really setting plans to meet each other to physically having someone come in and say like, I want more from you and this is what I can give. And it moves very clearly and more definedly if we're talking about love. In other respects, I'm looking at you going from scrolling on your phone for 2 hours at night to actually like going to sleep on time because you're exhausted from your busy day of having more responsibility. So it does feel like you're clearing space and you're mentally clearing space in order to make room for something that is growing for you. Yeah, I see expansion with the 3 of Wands. So an expanded horizon, and the Daughter of Cups reversed is you taking on more responsibility, outgrowing a certain situation, but also challenging yourself to take on more. So that's interesting. I see with the woman holding a coin reverse that you are underestimating your abilities in some way. Either your skill set is being underutilized within your workplace, or you're underestimating how much you can have. I feel like maybe your lifestyle lifestyle isn't equivalent to what you actually have to spend. And I think that this is an underestimation in the sense of you could have a lot more than what you're currently doing. And there may be a humble aspect associated to that, but I also believe that it's you not recognizing how much you have to offer and how much you have to gain. It's very interesting. There's this disconnect between what you can have versus what you think you deserve. And I believe that this could be on a material point of view, but if it is, it's more representative of how you see yourself. And there is a strong feeling here of needing to be more proud of what you have achieved and of what your hard work or certain developed skill set can afford you in this lifetime. Not to flex on other people, but to literally just be more proud of the effort that you've put into your own cultivation here. I am seeing a sour energy around this devil card. So this sour energy is showing up as the watermelon charm reverse. So usually it's very sweet, but in the reversed position, this charm has more of a sour feeling. It looks more like a lime. And there's nothing wrong with lime, but there is something going on here between an unhealthy balance of restriction and overindulgence. It literally feels like restriction, binging. Either you're being way too hard on yourself at times, which is causing this desire to break and overindulge, or there is a need here to be more aware of how something is out of balance in your lifestyle that is putting way too much pressure on certain aspects of your lifestyle. So either this is workaholic tendencies, or this could be, binge drinking tendencies. And it's only really impactful when it starts to impact on your ability to have a safe, fun, and experience as an individual, and when it impacts on your other relationships and your other responsibilities. And I feel like with the devil reversed, there's a way to have your cake and eat it. I'm not saying stop drinking. I'm not saying don't work so hard, but I am saying balance. And with the can opener here, maybe you do need to blow off some steam, and you do need to actually give yourself a devil moment where you are, blowing off steam, having fun, and not thinking too much about being so strict, structured, and rigid. I'm seeing the need to do that soon, because you are someone who seems to be starting something new in which a lot of responsibility is going to be expected of you. So you need to appreciate how to incorporate those moments of blowing off steam and a more regular sort of interval, without feeling guilty and without going so far to the point where you're sabotaging your other responsibilities and your important connections. There is a feeling of being honest with yourself here about how much you can take and do, and being very clear-headed. So that to me looks like, if you're thinking about having a big weekend where you are going to drink a lot or smoke a lot or do a lot of drugs, don't get to the point where you literally cannot think clearly, because there is a strong feeling here of you needing to keep your head screwed on straight right now for whatever reason. It could be that the people that you're around may have the tendency to take advantage of you unless you're thinking clearly. It could be that the environment in which you do these behaviors in isn't safe if you're not thinking clearly. For whatever reason, keep your head screwed on straight when you're experimenting or trying to blow off steam. And also with this charm here, this is another charm talking about commitment and responsibility. I do think that some of y'all need to be more aware of how much responsibility you have right now, just for the sake of balancing your time out appropriately and figuring out ways to have fun amidst all of that extra responsibility you seem to have. Now, for others of you, you may not think that this is a responsibility issue, but it is very much about balancing out your lifestyle in general and ensuring that you're aware of how your actions are making and breaking this long-term plan that the Knight of Coins is cultivating. I do see you eclipsing your material expectations and being very successful in this lifetime, but I think in order to get there, you need to find a healthy balance between living and hustling. And that seems to be the main message in this reading. So that's what I'm seeing for you, group 2, in terms of what you need to hear right now. I am also seeing you needing to book a checkup if you have delayed anything with your health. The 9 of Pentacles reversed is talking about a very specific checkup with your GP or with like a specialist, like an eye doctor or a dentist, something in which you know like you're overdue in. It's not just a general thing. It feels like it has something to do with a very specific part of your body. It could even be, if you're a female, like a fertility checkup or a contraceptive checkup. But it feels like a very specific part of your body, and that probably isn't going to apply to everybody. But if you know that's you, definitely book that appointment in and prioritize your health with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Other than that, that's all I'm seeing for you, group 2. I'm going to take this into the extended reading now, where we'll have a look at the next 2 weeks, what you can expect, what you need to know. It's a very quick reading, but a lot of information comes out. So if you would like to join me there, it's on my website. The link to all the extended readings is in the description box. And it's pretty easy to follow, but I recommend that you double check before you pay to make sure you've picked the right group. You are group 2, so don't just rush ahead. Read all the prompts, make sure you've selected the right group, and I shall see you there. Before you go wherever you're going, thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you for all your time, your energy, and I hope to connect with you in another video. Bye! Welcome group 3. If you chose the clear quartz crystal tower, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome. I'm going to put your clear quartz tower over there, and we're going to have a look at what you need to hear right now. This is intended to be a guidance reading, but it's kind of turning into a bit of a predictions reading as well. So in the extended reading for you, if this camera will focus for us, we're going to be having a look at what you can expect in the next 2 weeks, which should hopefully fill in the gaps from what you've been told in the first part of this reading. So let's get into it. As you can see, I've pre-shuffled your cards. I have another tarot deck on standby to clarify anything that we need to. I'm also going to be pulling charms for you as well. So let's lay your cards out and have a look at what you need to know at the time that you are seeing this reading. It is a timeless reading, so if you've come back, this reading has found you again, welcome back. Your first card is the Princess of Cups reversed in the Telesma Tarot deck. We also have the Fool reversed, interesting. We have Fortune reversed. It becomes more interesting. We have Deceit coming out upright. And we have Strategy upright. We also have Mountains Stand Your Ground in the reverse position. All these decks are linked in the description box below if you want to check them out. This is the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. We also have Arrow, Surround Yourself with Protective Energy. And from the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck by Holland, we have the Spiritual Strength card, also known as the Nine of Wands. We also have Balance, Justice reversed. We also have the Three of Cups, Rejoice in Celebration reversed. And I'm going to have to spread these out a little bit. There we go. And smush y'all a bit together. That kind of works, I guess. I think we can fit the fourth one in now. We have the Four of Cups upright, discontent and boredom in this deck. Interesting. So you got the Three of Cups reversed, Four of Cups upright. And from the Law of Polarity deck, this is by Ruby Roman, we have I am connected to spirit. We also have I'm busy. And we have You've lit a fire inside of me. Wow. Okay. This is interesting. So let's pull your charms now. What does group 3 need to hear at the time that they're seeing this video? Wow. What does group 3 need to hear? Okay. What does group 3 need to hear at the time that they're seeing this video? Oh, wowzers. Oh my gosh. Y'all got so many messages. This is going to be a big group. I feel like you guys are very intuitive. You could maybe read as yourself, or you could be energy channelers. I'm even hearing like Reiki. But I feel like you guys have a very active spiritual energy about you. Now, before I forget, something came through when I was shuffling your cards, and I need to read it out to you before I forget. You have a lot of success waiting for you on the other side of something you're struggling to let go of. Release your baggage and dead weight. I had to write that down for you, otherwise I would have forgotten. It sounds very simple, but it was a message that Spirit really wanted me to tell you, and so I made sure I wrote it down. And I'm pretty sure at the time that I'm showing you this, it's look at the time, it's nearly 11:11. So there are no such thing as coincidences. But I do believe that this group will have messages that may resonate freshly, whereas others of you will just need confirmation that you've made the changes necessary in order for you to have the best possible outcome for yourself. I am seeing things like heartbreak, third-party interference, you needing to separate yourself from someone that you may have really cared about or wanted something with. I'm also seeing rejection as divine protection for this group. If somebody is not a part of your life right now, they're not meant to be. Distance was caused on purpose to allow you to grow. I'm seeing you needing to release baggage, but I'm also seeing you needing to stay focused on the fact that you have released baggage, so don't let baggage come back. So before I get too into it, I encourage you to get a pen and write down what resonates, because this style of reading for me can be a little bit more chaotic than what we're used to. It's purely channeling, and therefore I do not follow like a specific format. It just goes with whatever pulls my attention first. And the first thing I'm seeing, getting straight into it, is you are connected to Spirit Group 3. Your spiritual team is very active, and they're very supportive of you right now in the changes you're going through. I'm seeing a lot of tests and trials and tribulations, but I'm seeing a great feat of strength and energy from your part, and this strong feeling of you needing to stand your ground against what you have fought so hard to overcome. I am seeing that you do have spiritual gifts, whether you're aware of them or not. It's important that you keep your energy clean and you do what you can to protect yourself energetically, whether that's working with crystals or nature, like using smoke, using water to cleanse yourself. Stay protective from harmful energies. This could be a reminder that you may need to sage your home at the time that you're seeing this video. You may need to cleanse your body at the time that you're seeing this video. You may need to look into the practices that you're currently doing to keep yourself clean and pure from these attaching sort of parasitic energies. Now, I do want to talk about this card down here, I'm busy. I feel like the thing about this group is the first charm that kind of fell on this card was this earring, which kind of shows up as a little stud earring with a diamond in it, if it will focus, doing the old beauty guru hack. And I feel like that earring for you is saying that there is something that really needs your attention right now. And it does have something to do with you and your self-worth. You may have started a new routine, some of you, whether that's going out more in terms of going for walks or putting yourself out there more. It feels like this is linked with your self-worth and building a stronger connection to self as well. And I feel like you need to maintain that routine if you are the person who has started it. The other thing that I'm picking up on down here is you just realizing what is worth your time and learning to say, I'm busy, learning to say, no, I can't do that, I'm busy, and prioritizing what it is that you need to do, even if it doesn't feel like it's the same. For example, if somebody's moving house and you feel guilty for not helping because literally the only other thing you were going to do was try to practice your spiritual gifts or try to kind of give yourself the afternoon off to watch your favorite Netflix show. It feels like there's a message here of learning how to occupy your time, your valuable time, because it is valuable. We can't get any more of it once we've spent it all. Doing the things that are important to you. And I feel like this comes hand in hand with spending time with people who are important to you and learning to say, I'm busy, to things that actually don't deserve your time, your valuable time. You guys got the Moonstone charm come out as well, which is in between I'm busy and you've lit a fire in me. And the first charm that actually came out was my owl charm. So this tells me that you are very wise, you're very intuitive, and you're very aware. You need to be aware of the fact that all of this is a catalyst for you taking on a lot without even knowing it, in terms of being very empathetic. And I can see how sometimes people may take advantage of that. But I think that at the time that you're seeing this reading, it's important for you to trust your wisdom, your experiences, and your intuition with the major decisions that you're making in your life. It feels like you are about to take a big step towards something, or you're going to have to make a decision soon. And you need to remind yourself you're wise, you're intuitive, and you have the power to make this decision to the best of your ability. I do see with you've lit a fire inside of me, this strong feeling of you seeking something or someone right now. And it feels like there is a passion here that needs to be harnessed into a specific area. I can't figure out where, but it feels like that has something to do with the decision that you're going to need to make, and you trusting yourself and your ability to make that decision. We have arrow, surround yourself with protective energy, right under strategy. And with strategy, we have the communication charm. So it may be important for you to start communicating more in order to figure out what it is that you can do and what you want to do. This does look like you talking to a professional for some of you, being more aware of what you can do by getting educated by a professional on your different options. But I think for others of you, you may need to kind of communicate and express your needs more in order to open up a new window for you to peer through. I do see with you, surround yourself with protective energy. There is a strong feeling of you staying true to what you want, though, and almost needing to kind of protect your vision, your dreams, or your ambitions. I think because whoever you ask for advice from a professional capacity, they are coming at you logically. And that's where you, with your wisdom and your intuition, need to trust that what you're feeling is going to work out. Despite their limited logical aspect, you want the advice, but you don't want someone to tell you what to do, if that makes sense. And I'm saying this because I'm seeing a specific scenario in which you may seek someone out and you may say like, hey, this is my goal, this is what I want to do, what are my options? And they may say to you like, listen, based on what you've told me, you could do this, this, and this, but personally, and that's where you draw the line. Because I see this person saying, personally, I don't think you can do this. And that's not their professional opinion. That's where it feels like you just need to get the bare facts and you need to trust your gut and trust your intuition. So be wary of that. That's something that I think could cause a hindrance in you progressing forward with some sort of goal or ambition that you have your sights set on. And that's what I think is happening over here as well with deceit and stand your ground. On deceit, we have the selfish charm. So we have a selfish energy in your energy right now, someone who's only looking out for themselves and who's saying things from the position of I'm doing this for myself. They don't really mean to help you. They mean to look out for themselves. And over the stand your ground mountains card reversed, we have my bottle top. We also have the two strong intuition charms. We have moonstone and we have amethyst. So I feel like this isn't about pride and this isn't about being right, being wrong. This is about standing your ground in the sense of speaking your truth and seeing straight through people as well. I feel like your intuition is going to reveal this person to you. Your intuition is going to say, wait a minute, what they're saying doesn't align with their energy, or what they're saying doesn't align with their character, their nature, because you're picking up on the truth here. And I think with stand your ground reversed, again, it's not about having an argument and proving them wrong or trying to kind of prove anything to this person, because you don't need to. It's just about being aware of selfish energies who say deceitful things, deceptive things, in order to receive some sort of personal gain. And this may not be straight out negative. It could just be a little white lie, but it's still not in your best interest, group 3. And it's important that you pay attention to how people may be using you for personal gain. Now, I do think with Stand Your Ground reverse, there is this feeling of you working hard at something and experiencing delays right now. I think the thing about this is you do need to be more open to receiving information, even if it is deceitful, because it tells you more about that person than it does about your success. It tells you more about the kind of people you have around you than it does about the journey that you're on. And I think that you are going to be cutting ties with some people after this video, because I'm seeing the need to keep your social circle very tight. With the 3 of Cups reversed, this is a little inkling that you've had about someone who may just be using you for their own interests. This person may be using you for their social media following for some of you. They like the way it looks when the 2 of you hang out. You look good in their photos. This person may have been using you to get closer to somebody else. They may even be trying to get closer to a sibling for some of you. I just feel like with the Lock card here, there is this feeling of you just keeping your social circle tight. Your ride or dies should be by your side. And I don't want to make you paranoid. This is only going to apply to those of you who have had that inkling. Your intuition is littered throughout this reading. And that's telling me that it's been telling you to be more aware of these people. I do think that you should trust your gifts more and trust what you're feeling. And I do see you kind of scaling back how much you put out there and how much you interact with acquaintances and people who don't actually seem to be that interested in you as a person. These are the people who care about you when you're there, but when you don't see them, they don't really follow up and message you about how your day is or what are you going through today, what's your family been doing. They don't ask you about the things that you're interested in, really. They seem to only connect with you when it is in their best interest. And I think because of that, we do have the 4 of Cups over here. For some of you, this is indicative of overconsumption of something because we have my intoxication charm. This is talking about you needing to take it a bit slower and stabilizing your consumption of inebriating substances like alcohol or other drugs. And I think that this is more so to stay connected to how you're truly feeling about people and about the people around you. I do see some of you culling your friends list and just being more aware of how you're not happy, you're not satisfied, you feel like you are missing out on something. And I do see these feelings pushing you in a new direction very soon. I see spontaneous shifts and spontaneous change, but I also see a lot of that being blocked by some how do I would describe this, Spirit? It's not necessarily chaotic, it's not necessarily destructive, but it takes up a lot of space kind of energy. They don't really do anything bad, but they don't really contribute much good either. And you seem to have a lot of things like that right now, whether it's just your hobbies in your spare time, or whether it is actual people. For most of you, it is little acquaintances that have been building up. And I feel with the Wheel of Fortune reversed, we are trying to figure out how to free ourselves up more to be able to embrace a spontaneous shift in the near future. It does feel like some of you could be physically preparing for a move, or you've recently just moved and you're still settling in and you're trying to meet people and you're not really connecting as deeply as you were hoping to these people. And I think that in that case, there is going to be someone coming in very soon, but I also see you needing to put yourself out there in the right places to meet those people. I see with the Fool card here, this is the card that got most of the charms. There is a strong message here of releasing baggage and dead weight. And it feels like these are people that you have had your suspicions about. Sunglasses charm tells me the way that it fell was kind of like on its side a little bit. It tells me that you need to see things through their eyes and you need to be able to see through people because you have that ability, but I feel like you've blindsided yourself and you're trying to give someone the benefit of the doubt when actually you have seen through them and you've seen that what they have to offer is not what you need right now. There is a sign of a third party interference in your best outcome. And there is the sign with this third party charm of you needing to have a difficult conversation with somebody about where your future is headed versus where their future is headed. And I see a separation ensuing. This could just be a friend. It could be an overbearing colleague at work. It could be someone who, you know, you've just picked up and they won't let you go. But for a lot of you, you do need to express how you feel in order to let go of this baggage and give your heart and your emotional self the best chance to move forward towards your best outcome. There's a lot of heart chakra energy over here. This amber heart that was struggling to focus has a lot to do with your sacral chakra of passion, exploration in terms of desire, creativity, sexuality. And it feels like it's being blocked by something that can't really get you there right now. And that's probably why we have the can opener charm as well, because this is all about expression. It's about popping the can, opening that up and releasing the air in the can. So I feel like we need to clear the air here and maybe cut some baggage loose, preparing ourselves for new things, new experiences. There is the watermelon charm here too, which is upright. This charm is a strong indication of something very sweet coming in, or something very, very sweet coming your way. And it feels like it is blocked by this third-party energy of somebody who may be accidentally meddling or intentionally meddling with your ability to meet new people right now. They could just be a very dependent personality who expects all of your attention, and you're having a hard time sort of getting out there and doing things that you want to do. I feel like for those who have moved recently, or for those who feel like they are wanting to meet more people, whether that's just friends or lovers in general, I do think that this involves you being in the right place to meet these people. Like, I'm seeing a physical change in scenery. I'm seeing that you should be physically putting yourself in places that could attract the person that you want in your life. For example, if you're interested in, you know, arts and crafts, go to those places and connect with people who are there, because they're clearly interested in that as well. If you're interested in your health and your fitness, go to places where you can meet like-minded people in general. Just using those two things as examples, because it is going to happen fairly quickly once you do that. I just think that you also have some baggage to clear in the meantime. And for others of you, this is where your group gets a little bit confusing, because some of you have finished clearing the way. You have let go of a lot of your baggage, and you've been waiting in limbo for your chance to connect with more meaningful connections, more meaningful friends, more meaningful people. And I feel like this is confirmation. If you have had difficult conversations where you've set boundaries and you've cut your baggage free, in terms of you try not to just fill your time with people who want you more than you need them, then I think that this is confirmation that you're very, very close to bringing these people in. You just need to be in the right place as them. Attracting people that have similar interests to you seems to be very important right now, because I do feel like for this group, your energy is everything. And being so empathetic, being so connected to source and so intuitive means that your social connections are also very important in recharging you. And if you feel tired after seeing someone, that's a clear sign that their energy is not aligned with yours. They're taking more out of that exchange than you are. You need people who help you feel rested. Even if you've spent the whole day with them, you still feel charged and ready to channel or whatever it is that you do with your gifts. Now, with Princess of Cups reversed, I do see something going on here. We also have the no cash value charm over that. So that kind of tells me that there's two things that could be happening. I want to clarify this with tarot. It either feels like a person is trying to kind of make their presence more involved in your life. This is someone you may not know well with the Princess of Cups reverse, or this is someone who is trying to reinvent their relationship with you so that you get a better impression of them. And I feel like they're doing this for the right reasons with no cash value. They're not trying to get something from you. They just want more of your emotional being. And then for others of you, I feel like you may need to kind of have a stern word with someone about them being too dependent on you. But we have already covered that theme. So I just want to clarify what's going on here. What is this Princess of Cups about, Spirit, for group 3? Interesting. We have the Ten of Swords. So this is ending a tough cycle. Trying to get over a feeling of betrayal, or even trying to overcome a feeling of self-sabotaging. We have the Sun upright. What is this Princess of Cups about? This is a person. No cash value. This may be someone who's been around you and been struggling to move towards you. We have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. You may know them from a physical place that you visit frequently. Most likely your workplace, something that you go, somewhere you go to work hard. Mother of Swords reversed, Daughter of Cups, Son of Cups. I feel like for a lot of you who are single, this is a romantic interest who is in your energy, in the sense of they have seen you, but there seems to be no contact between the two of you. This person does have the intention of moving towards you, making their presence more known. For a lot of you, this is a secret admirer group 3. Like, this is not somebody who you're very aware of. You may have picked up on them intuitively, but this person may be struggling to move towards you due to some sort of financial constraints, or due to just feeling like they need to be more focused on their work right now. Work seems to be the main reason that people aren't taking moves right now. But I see the intention of getting to know you better. This person's just having a really hard time reading you. You're showing up as someone who keeps their cards very close to their chest. For those who are in a relationship, I still think you have a secret admirer. This person just doesn't know if you're in a relationship. I just feel like this person has a really hard time reading you. So I see them slowly making their way towards you, starting with small talk and then trying to kind of flirt and engage you romantically, and then making more of an effort to kind of show that they're interested in you romantically. It just feels like they want you to warm up to them. It feels like this person is trying to thaw you out. So this is someone who you give no energy towards, but they really notice you, and they feel almost betrayed by their lack of action. And they feel like this is a tough cycle that needs to end. So there's like no communication between you right now. I do see that this person has a lot of joy when they do see you, so their demeanor might give them away. This is someone that gets really excited and maybe even bubbly when they see you. They may go from being very stoic to all of a sudden very kind of excitable, like a child spirit saying. This person lights up like a child. So I feel like with the Daughter of Cups here, it's nothing significant initially. It could just be a small talk or, you know, smiling here and there. But they're really trying to gauge your energy. They're trying to get a good read on you to see whether you're interested, because you're showing up as someone that they barely know, and they don't even know if you're single, let alone interested in them. So this is a romantic tangent. We'll have a look at what that will be covering in the next 2 weeks. Is there anything else that they in your extended reading in the next 2 weeks? Okay, so Leo is very significant. Leo season is very significant. We're nearly ending Leo season though, so this person may have only entered your life very recently, but with the Strength card reversed, it feels like they do need to take a soft approach to you, which indicates they may have tried to come on really strong initially. I see this person coming in very soft, very quiet, very humble, or just trying to kind of try to wiggle their way in compassionately, trying to kind of get a good gauge of you. So I feel like they're not going to be very loud and proud. I see them kind of wiggling their way in, trying to get your attention slowly. So picking up on small cues, you guys, is what's going to help you. Who's trying to make eye contact with you? Who's trying to smile at you? That's what's going to help narrow it down a little bit. And I don't mean just once, I mean consistently. When you're around them, they're always trying to do this because they're trying to get closer. They're not just wanting to say hi and that's it. They're eventually wanting to have a conversation. They want to ask you out. So they're going to consistently make eye contact. They're going to consistently try to say hello to build up that strength, that courage. The Son of Swords says this person has the desire to move things quickly. Their actions may actually be very impulsive in the end, but I don't see things happening very fast because they are afraid of jumping too quickly and saying or doing the wrong thing and scaring you off. This feels like a tentative energy, and we can probably get more into their energy in a different reading, but I will see, they're very attracted to you, by the way. I will see what's happening in the next 2 weeks between the two of you in your extended reading. For now, my beautiful group threes, that is what I'm seeing for you in terms of what do you need to hear right now? What does Spirit want you to know? What does your higher self want to know? I'm going to take this into the extended now, where we'll have a look at your next 2 weeks. What is happening in the next 2 weeks? What do you need to know about the next 2 weeks? It's going to be a fairly short reading compared to what I usually do, but a lot of information comes through. For the last 2 groups, it was a very informative reading. So if you do want to join me there, I recommend you get something to drink and get a journal or something to write notes down in so that you're not missing anything. The link to your extended reading will be in the description box. All the extended readings are now on my website in terms of the current extended readings of 2022. So the link in the description box will take you to my website, and make sure you click on group 3 because you are group 3. Please make sure you pick the right group, okay? Before you go, beautiful group threes, wherever you're going, I just want to thank you for all of your time, your energy, your support. Thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I appreciate you for being here, supporting me, this community, and free tarot in general. And I hope to connect with you in another video. Bye.